Joined by myself, Zack Grimes from the Lowers Trust, and I'm here with Ryan Green today for, just more of a casual chat. Ryan, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Zach. I'm really good. Well, we couldn't get anyone on this week, but everyone's super busy. Not surprising, given it's coming. The half term or the summer break is either a week or 2 weeks away, depending on which authority you're in. So yeah, I thought it would be good you and I caught up together today.
Yeah, definitely. And I think obviously we're going to talk about some of the episodes we've had so far and the guests and some of the insights they've shared. And before, when we started the idea of launching these talks, we said we'd have these weeks anyway. So it's nice that this has kind of been forced upon us. But yeah, certainly it feels like a week that everyone has got a full schedule, including ourselves. But yeah, it's great that we're still having these conversations flowing.
Yes, yeah, it is good, and I think you're right. I mean, it's nice to just take some time to reflect back, and we've had some really interesting guests. And I thought, do you know what? I thought it was really insightful. I thought how there was a lot of commonality between everything that was going on with people, and but there was still some nuances depending on the type of trust, what they were doing, the type of work they were doing. Kev very much talking almost about UI and UX, and how that was having a big impact on some of the work that he was doing. Whereas Julia, again, a whole kind of different set of problems that she was thinking about.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what is already resonating very strongly, I think, to ourselves and some of the feedback we've had from people in the community is that it's very diverse, and even though we're all working in the same space and facing the same problems, we're all working in different ways and on kind of the different journeys throughout our trust. So I think that's really valuable, and we're getting a lot of insights and learning a lot, and as are other people. So yeah, it really feels like this has been the right thing to do, and is gaining value, which is obviously what we want to see. But I think going right back to the start when Holly first came on from Genogly Learning Trust, I've nailed that
Well done for
T
getting
now.
that
Yeah.
right.
I was very intrigued to learn more about Holly's role, and obviously she's got a split role with marketing being part of the responsibility. But then it blows my mind how she's involved at a very strategic level as well, working closely with the CEO. So I think that's really valuable, and again, it's helping her to really make an impact across her trust. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's moving forward. We want to keep that flow of diverse guests coming on, don't we?
We do, and I know we've got some more really interesting guests coming up over the next couple of weeks ahead of summer, which will be good. I know we've got some more kind of rather than week ahead, the kind of broader lightning talks, which we're going to be reaching out to Owen, one of the directors from Impact Ed. He's going to talk to us about some of the work that they're doing. I believe they're in about 2,000 or been working with about 2,000 schools across the country. And Owen and I had a really interesting conversation about the fact that Impact Ed are measuring all this impact that education is having, but communication is such an integral piece to actually sharing that and promoting it and evidencing it. So that'll be a really interesting conversation as well. I think that's coming later on in August. But the thing I wanted to say was we've obviously just had the election, change of government. That's going to also have an impact on communications. Yeah, I mean, 6,500 teachers, we've got to be recruited. That's marketing and communications.
Yes.
And I know Bridget Phillipson, she's super keen to get that underway. And I've seen some recent articles in Test and Schools Week. But we've also got this initiative around children having access to counsellors. That's going to mean some parental communications going out. But we touched on this before in our last lightning talk. I think there's this kind of, with all this excitement and this change of government, do you think schools are going to have to really just manage the expectations of parents? Do you think we're going to have to need some clear direction from government that will have to be communicated out so we don't have the media portraying one kind of piece of communication without schools backing it up or tapering it or, contextualizing it, because people are hearing what this new government is going to put out through the media, but the reality might look very different on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I think yes to both parts. Ideally, if the government and the operators, the trust, the schools, etc., could be working a lot better together in a more parallel way, then that would solve all the problems. And I do have a lot of faith that things will change for the better. Some of the early signs and signals have become refreshing. But it's the old saying, isn't it? Talk is cheap. Let's see the actions. Let's see things roll out. But it is, I think there's an opportunity there, and one of my favourite mantras is every problem is an opportunity, and this is a time for that where yes, we're facing a lot of adversity to the sector, and a lot of the challenges are still here, even though the government's changed. But we've got to move forward, and it gives us a lot of scope here for us marketers and comms professionals to really have that impact and influence. Because I do, there is evidence, there's justification that we really do have a strong role to play, certainly around that parental engagement piece, in managing expectations. A few of the guests have alluded to the fact that there's a change of demographic, change of expectations from parents. I see it across my own trust, and you can't just have a one model fits all or something you've done for a few years being the same process. You need to utilise channels better, and actually, that's a way we can improve that relationship and comms with parents moving forward. Because I think regardless of what changes the government makes, you've still got to be able to operate and make those relationships meaningful.
Well, there's going to be call to actions, isn't there, from either staff or parents or pupils or whatever that comes out. And I think it'll be really interesting, certainly over the next 6 months, with quite some ambitious things. I mean, it was really interesting to me that education didn't play a big part in the kind of manifestos. I mean, there was there was definitely some attributes in the manifestos relating to education, but healthcare and the economy were the main precedent around the campaign. That said, I know education is, and certainly the unions and the associations and the membership bodies and all of that will be pressing very hard to have their voices heard and some sort of reform and address done to that. And in turn, that's going to need to be passed on to parents and staff, and so communication is going to play a key role. It'll be. I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing how that plays out over the next 6 months.
I think just to add to that, though, I think like you're saying there about the pressures already in place, and for me, it's selfishly because I'm working in education. It could sound a bit biased, but I do think if you actually put the resource into education that it needs, it really helps to advocate all the other services as part of that public sector need. If we get it right, that earlier intervention with younger children, the families, the communities all grow and prosper from that. There's some really good work going on. CST are already out there putting the comms out and really flying the flag high for the sector. So, as I said and alluded to, it feels refreshing. It feels like things will change, hopefully for the good, and we've got the force that's driving that already.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So,
and a result for England on
Saturday,
we
never forgot
Southgate. I mean, talk about communication. Like, this is PR, isn't it? Like, Southgate's gone from like, let's get him out, to like, oh, he's obviously got this master plan, and it's all going to come together, and it's coming home.
What about Jordan Pickford's water bottle, though? I mean, that has got some attention. I mean, that is communication and planning at its finest.
So just for anyone who's listening to this and didn't see Jordan Pickford's
disclaimer.
do you want to kind of just give us a bit of a flavour of that?
So basically, if you're on social media, just go and type in Jordan Pickford's water bottle. You'll probably get it on Google. But basically, he has a picture on a water bottle. So imagine, here's mine empty. He's just got a label, and he had all of the opposition's players details in terms of where they're likely to put their penalty. So Akanji, whose penalty he saved, he actually guessed right and made that prediction. So yes, I don't know what the percentages are for a goalkeeper to save a penalty, but they are very minimal. But it just justifies actually when you put in that work, when you've got that level of research and knowledge, how powerful that can be. There's already, in fact, I'm going to give a shout out to Dale Harris, who's one of my connections and part of our community. He's a guest we'll get on in the future. But he's put a nice post out on LinkedIn this morning, which really kind of summarises that and the importance of it. He's a fantastic educator, great teacher. So there's a lot to learn there. And I think, we nearly missed the call for England because I think we've been a good omen. We'll give ourselves a pat on the back because we've been giving them a nod each week. Things are getting better, and let's hope next week we're champions because we'll have had the semi-final, and fingers crossed we'll have won on Sunday. But
we'll be able to. Yeah, we'll definitely be able to give ourselves a full pat on the back, depending on the result on obviously Wednesday and then Sunday.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. And then go on. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I think he was going to mention it, but I was going to say, in between that, we've got a big event ourselves coming up this week, haven't we?
I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
Go on, I won't steal your thunder.
Well, so yes, on Thursday. Well, to be honest, it's equal. So we've got our first kind of joint Canva for Education workshop, which is going to be at Didsbury High School. Thank you very much, Zach, for organising the location and for the Didsbury High School to kind of host us, and for Jade, Matt, and then the team at Canva for Education and Canopy, who are coming down and kind of facilitating this event. And obviously to all of those who are coming and joining us, that's going to be a great day. This is hopefully going to be the first of many. The idea is to have really kind of practical hands-on workshops that are going to be done at locations, ideally in an IT suite. So we're going to be utilizing schools, double whammy there, kind of utilizing school facilities, giving them a bit of a letting, but obviously doing good for the MarCommEd community and helping schools engage with these wonderful platforms like Canva. And we might do them with some other brands as well who have got some great facilities or tools that are super for helping schools communicate and reach stakeholders and managing those. So this is going to be our first one. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, it's been in the pipeline for a while, but it takes a bit of organizing these things, especially inside our day job. Hey, Zach.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think just to add to that, I'm really looking forward to and the insights we're going to gain from the sessions. And we've been down to Canva ourselves a few times now, and each time it's been very insightful, and you get that wow factor from what you see. So I'm really excited to be able to bring that to our community and play that part where people will be able to then go away, utilize more of the tools that Canva can provide and facilitate across schools and trusts. I'm grateful that we've got some of our own colleagues involved there, so it's really going to help me and my team to scale what we do. And as you say, going forward into the next academic year and thereafter, this would be something that would be great if we can take across all four corners of the country.
Yeah,
with other trusts and other members, happy to get involved. I know we've already had conversations with some of the community members that are looking to do that in their locations. So, yeah, very exciting time, and one of many partnerships, hopefully, which will help us to really improve and develop that operational offer of what marketing and comms is for trusts. Because, I think that we have that vision of creating that consistency and creating that level playing field where, trusts are, regardless of the way they operate, they've got these resources and facilitations through the likes of Canva where things can be done at a very professional and scalable manner.
Yeah, it's and again, just big thanks to the Canva team for actually helping with this, organising Canopy, one of their training partners, to come to Manchester and Didsbury and do this. They've been big support, and it's been it's lovely. I think Canva does, like many of these platforms, they do have the online training facilities. Sometimes they have webinars, but there's nothing like being in a room with a bunch of people who are sharing that position, who are peers, and you're having that kind of energy and that excitement of being in the room. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see just the reaction. I'm expecting positive things. I mean, we had like half the tickets sell out within the first 24 hours, I think, or
Yeah.
there. And I know a lot of people got in touch with us and said this would be great if you did this in another location. So as you said, depending on how it goes, which I'm sure it will be an absolute roaring success. Let's get these out into the other four corners of well, the other three corners of the country and start building up those and giving people more access. And yeah, that'll be, I'm really excited about that. I think that's another
Me too.
feather in our cap.
I think timing of the year as well has obviously not been great for some people. As we know, some trusts and schools have finished already or will be this week. And because of schedule, some just can't physically get to us for the event. So yeah, I think the timing's probably not the best time. So it gives us a signal that next year, if we get these in the calendar across the academic year, then they're going to be high in demand. Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
But yeah, I think that that, as you say, they're just one of the offers that we want to bring to the community, and it's great that other members of the community are now starting to take ownership and get involved. So yeah, exciting times ahead. Very exciting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. Well, listen, I'm sure you've got a busy day as I have, and it's been good to catch up. And well, fingers crossed for this week. I'll see you on Thursday, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do some live stuff on Thursday as well to give people a tease and taste of. Yeah, let's keep it going, and let's hope England win as well, so we're in high spirits.
Definitely, it's coming out.
Brilliant.
All right, mate. You take care.
Awesome. Brilliant.